One thing I noticed about this clip right here, and I'm going to pause it really quick. One thing I noticed here was that their defense is moving really well together. And that is something that I've heard in interview clips, I've seen in different things on social media, that on defense. And so that was something, even in this first 40 seconds of this clip, the way that they are moving on defense, this first unit, is just really promising with the hustle play. And that was something I also realized from these first 4 minutes of footage. Natasha Howard is everywhere on the court. She is going to hustle.
The Indiana Fever just sent a message to the entire WNBA and nobody's talking about it. While everyone's focused on individual players, they're secretly building the most unstoppable offensive system since the Golden State Warriors dynasty. Veterans and rookies are clicking immediately, creating driving lanes that didn't exist last season.
WNBA training camp has officially kicked off, and the Indiana Fever are giving us an inside look at their very first scrimmage. Preseason game for every single team across the league will be broadcast in some capacity. Some of the games are on League Pass, some of the games are on national television. One thing that stood out to me almost immediately, though, is you can see who the projected starters are going to be. So that's DeWanna Bonner, Aaliyah Boston, Natasha Howard, Kelsey Mitchell, and of course Caitlin Clark at the point guard.
Imagine this. Clark's no-look passes finding Boston in perfect position, Mitchell sliding to the corner while Howard sets screens, and Bonner draws double teams. 5 players moving as one perfect unit. It's happening right now in training camp, and teams should be terrified. This isn't just about Caitlin Clark anymore. It's about a system that could change everything. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. While everyone's obsessing over Caitlin Clark, there's something much bigger happening in Indiana that nobody's talking about. The Fever aren't just adding a superstar rookie, they're completely transforming how basketball is played in the WNBA. Someone
who also really impressed me already, which I've been impressed with her game, whether she's on the Fever or not, is DeWanna Bonner, because she is just someone, she's a veteran, she's in the right place at the right time, even though this is the first time. Good job, Scott. But that's maybe a good place to pause for a second while they're in their huddle here. We've already seen in this first few minutes of the scrimmage how fast they are moving the ball, figuring out each other's play style. DeWanna Bonner just knows where to be, and you can see her almost being a floor general without the ball. You can see her pointing to certain places, finding the open man, and that was something that really impressed me. Obviously, getting to it.
Look closely at their training camp and you'll see it. They're building their offense on the exact blueprint that turned the Golden State Warriors into an NBA dynasty. This isn't a coincidence. The Fever's coaching staff has implemented a system where the ball zips around the court like it's electrically charged. Players are barely holding on to it for more than a second or two before it's moving again. It creates this hypnotic rhythm that's already causing defensive nightmares in their scrimmages. Defenders can't lock in on any single player because the ball never stays still long enough. What's really fascinating is how they're flipping the entire WNBA offensive playbook. Most teams initiate their offense from the top of the key, the traditional approach we've seen for years. But the Fever, they're starting from the wings instead, creating completely different angles and forcing defenses to guard areas of the court they're not used to prioritizing. It's subtle, but revolutionary.
You can see them in the huddle here. Coach Stephanie White drawing up some sort of plays possibly. Caitlin taking it to the basket, being super dramatic. I think she thought she got fouled. And Natasha Howard with a big block. Like I said, she's everywhere. She's literally everywhere, and I think that's exactly what this Indiana Fever team needed last season, and also just her presence on defense. Sydney Colson taking it up the court, and again, even the second unit is playing with a really quick pace. Now, Sophie Cunningham seems to have come in for DeWanna Bonner. Here, excuse me.
And Clark isn't demanding the ball to run isolation plays like you might expect from a #1 pick. Instead, she's embracing a role that makes the entire system flow. She's setting off-ball screens. Yes, screens. And constantly relocating to create openings for her teammates. This shows an incredible basketball IQ and commitment to winning over personal stats. It's straight from the Steph Curry playbook, where the superstar's willingness to move without the ball elevates everyone around her. You know what's nuts? The spacing this creates is opening up driving lanes that simply didn't exist for the Fever last season. With shooters positioned strategically around the arc and Aaliyah Boston anchoring the paint, defenses are in constant no-win situations. Send help on drives and someone's wide open for three. Overcommit to shooters and Boston gets easy buckets underneath. It's basketball chess and the Fever are 3 moves ahead. The veterans on this team deserve serious credit. Dana Bonner and Natasha Howard aren't just playing, they're teaching. They're actively showing the younger players all the little nuances that make this system work. The timing of cuts, the angles on screens, the rhythm of movement. These are things that usually take years to master, but the veterans are fast-tracking this knowledge to accelerate the team's development. It's exactly how the Warriors built their championship culture. Veterans passing down system knowledge that becomes second nature.
One thing that stood out to me almost immediately, though, is you can see who the projected starters are going to be. So that's DeWanna Bonner, Aaliyah Boston, Natasha Howard, Kelsey Mitchell, and of course Caitlin Clark at the point guard with the hustle play. And that was something I also realized from these first 4 minutes of footage. Natasha Howard is everywhere on the court. She is going to hustle, figuring out each other's play style. DeWanna Bonner just knows where to be, and you can see her almost being a floor general without the ball. You can see her pointing to certain places, finding the open man, and that was something that really impressed me. Obviously, getting to it.
This Warriors style offense becomes especially lethal with Clark's court vision. She's not just making the obvious passes, she's seeing cutters and windows that most point guards would miss entirely. Her ability to deliver the ball precisely where and when it needs to be is unlocking possibilities that transform good offensive possessions into unstoppable ones. The combination of systemic movement with elite vision creates offensive sequences that look almost scripted. Have you noticed Clark's physical transformation? Fans are commenting on her noticeably more muscular frame, with one tweeting, "That is one strong leg emoji," while another added, "CC ain't skipping leg day or arm day." This isn't just random off-season work, it's strategic. The constant movement, screening, and physical demands of this Warriors-style system require stamina and strength that goes beyond traditional point guard conditioning. Clark didn't just prepare to play in the WNBA, she prepared specifically for this system. What's truly impressive is how quickly the chemistry is developing. You'd expect a rookie-led team implementing a complex offensive system to look disjointed for months, but the reports coming out of training camp suggest they're already finding their flow. This indicates the Fever aren't just implementing a temporary strategy to maximize Clark's rookie year. They're establishing a sustainable offensive identity that could become their signature for years to come. And what we're seeing with the Fever is honestly a game changer for the WNBA. They're not just throwing star players together and hoping for chemistry. They're installing a proven system that elevates everyone on the court. The motion offense combined with that defensive discipline is exactly what transformed the Warriors from playoff contenders into champions. You know what's crazy? This chemistry first approach could be the difference between the Fever just making the playoffs versus actually competing for titles. When they face the Chicago Sky on May 17th, we're not just watching another season opener, we're witnessing the potential evolution of WNBA basketball right before our eyes.